A lot of memories started flooding back to me from when I first saw this film. This is not my second time watching the film. This is probably like my fourth or fifth. 'Cause I do really like this movie, and I do show this off to people when it comes to really good movies that are in a foreign language, but I think are pretty accessible to other people. Don't like foreign language films. But yeah, the memories of watching this movie in the theater really flooded back when I watched this movie streaming. The storytelling, I think, is the one thing in this movie that I think surprised me a little bit. Of course, when I watched it the first time, I gravitated towards the cinematography, the colors, the way the film looked, it was shot. And then the second time, the action was a big focal point. But then the storytelling is what grabbed me here.
10年来，从未有人上殿敬寡人100步，可知为何？
刺客猖獗。
不错，刺客一日不除，我难解甲胄。如今你替寡人除此大害，要何封赏？
为擒杀贼，不求封赏。
Even though it's not very subtle what they do in this movie, the way that the film tells the story is actually pretty interesting. And I love films like this too, Zero, that the more you watch something, the more you get out of it. It tells really multiple stories in a certain sense. Maybe not multiple stories, but it tells a story and then it tells another story within the subtext, I think, of the plot, I would say, in this.
For me, it was just the cinematography. Just the cinematography is so bold, so colorful, and it's just absolutely stunning, even to this day.
Yes, absolutely. Like the use of fabric, of colors, and we're talking like bold reds and in scenes that are gray but are filled with water and rain and black and white, and it's just beautiful to look at. It's when you get to the first scene of the film where he is in I think it's in the King's Palace. Yeah, like even when you get into that scene, everything pops. It may not even just be the colors, but it's also the set pieces around it. Like when you get into that palace, it's filled with people that are wearing these black robes and these very distinguished steps, and just this huge space that is shown off in this movie. Like, it is visually arresting, this movie is, which is what brought me to want to see it in the theaters in the first place, and what brings me back to watch it every time. In the first few times I've seen this film, I would call this film a wildly style over substance film. Maybe at times I would have also called it a just style over style film, because the film is very visually distinctive. It has very acrobatic, very flashy fight scenes. And at the time, I thought that the plot didn't really matter so much. The characters, not really that important. But I think that's the one difference I had watching this film now, is that the characters and the story is actually a lot more interesting than I think I gave it credit for in the past.
Historical recounting of an event that happened in the early empire days of China and everything. So historically, I'm familiar with the actual historical story that this is based on. So for me, just it was kind of interesting seeing these characters being brought to life and not something that I'd read in a very dry history book.